I'm just gonna start again. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so yeah, they were like talking to me, and I was like finally showing on my Twitter. They took my phone away from me and tweeted 2 tweets off my Twitter to like try to calm people down, and they were like, it was all a big misunderstanding. Like Hannah wasn't supposed to meet. They were like, this is all a big misunderstanding. Like I wasn't actually supposed to meet Taylor. Thanks Taylor Nation for like making Cece's night. They literally thanked themselves off my account. Hello, like don't get that promo from me. Anyway, yeah. So they literally took my account and like tweeted 2 tweets off of it. I could probably find the tweets. I think they're still up. And then, what happened after that? And then I'm like literally just still sitting there like crying and like I don't even know what we were like talking about. And I was literally just like crying. I was like literally Mama so just dragged me. Like I didn't know what to do. Like what else was I supposed to do except cry, you know? And so I'm like literally crying. And I like started crying harder, and then like Erica of all people comes up and like hugs me, and they were like, oh my gosh, no, like it's okay. And I was like, bitch, you just dragged me for a good 30 minutes. Not 30, but like 15. Yeah, I was literally in Taylor's dressing room. They gave me a water, but like it wasn't cool because they were dragging me. Megan, I love you. But yeah, so like that's what happened. And then they were like, okay, well, now that we got that all resolved. And I was like, the fuck, you just made it worse, bitches. And they like took me back, and like Erica like put her arm around me like while we were like walking back, and I was like, hello. And oh yeah, and then I like asked her to take a picture of me. I asked Erica, and I was like, Erica, take a picture with me. And then she was like, only if you tell Sinead to shut up. And I was like, okay. And so then they like took me back, and I was like sitting in like, they had us like sit with them in like B stage in like their pit area or whatever. And honestly, like I was trying to have a good time, but like I just like could not like get myself to like dance. I literally just like started crying again, and like I was so sad, and I like didn't know what to do. And so I was just kind of like standing there. Like I was trying so hard to have a good time, but I just could not. Like Mama Swift literally just dragged my ass. And so then like oh, also, by the way, they literally made me miss like half the concert. Like I literally don't even remember like any of that concert because they made me miss it. So I think by the time we got back, Taylor was like on All You Had to Do Was Stay or something. And I was literally just like standing there by myself with Cece. And then during Wildest Dreams Enchanted, okay, yeah, Kris Jenner would never drag my ass. Erica, you're right. And so yeah, so during Wildest Dreams and Enchanted, Mama Swift like came up to me, and yeah, Megan, I already said the fact that they tweeted off my account. Mama Swift came up to me during Wildest Dreams and Enchanted and was like, hey, like I feel really bad. Honestly, I couldn't really like understand like what she was saying because it was really loud, but they like got like, she was like, I feel like really bad, like all this stuff. And she was like, so I'm gonna like take you back to say hi to Taylor like after the show. And like at that point I was kind of just like, I like did not know how to feel. Like I wasn't happy that I was meeting Taylor. Like I was just kind of like, oh my god, like I can't not believe this is like happening to me. And so that happened, and then I continued watching the show, and by that time like it was only just like Wildest Dreams left and Shake It Off. And so Shake It Off happened, and I walked back with Mama Swift, and there was like another girl who had like her daughter with her, and she brought me back with her, and like I literally talked to Taylor for like 5 seconds, and like I'm pretty sure Taylor was confused as to why I was meeting her. And, like, that made me feel even worse because I was like, I don't want to be meeting Taylor if she doesn't want to be meeting me, you know? And so, like, I just, like, said hi to Taylor. As she was like, "Hey, Hannah," and I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "It's so good to see you again." And I was like, "Thank you so much for singing 15 for me," and cause she sang 15 for me at my Glendale show, and she's like, "Yeah, it's no problem," and she's like, "Sorry I didn't sing it the first night," because she sang Ronan. I was like, "No, it's no problem. Like, I loved when you sang Ronan," and then she's like, "So, like, do you want an updated picture?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so we just, like, hugged really tight. And then she said bye. Literally, I only talked to her for, like, 10 seconds. And that was it. And I got my picture. And it turned out shit because the lighting was horrible. And then I, like, posted it. And everyone dragged me for meeting her again. And everyone made a bunch of rumors about how I begged Mama Swift to meet her. And I was like, literally, that is, like, the furthest from the truth. Anything. Then Sinead sent me hate that night, and Sinead was like, "I'm suicidal, and you made me suicidal, and I'm, like, about to cut myself," and, like, told me all this stuff about how that night was the worst night of her life. And I was like, hello? I was the one that got dragged by Mama Swift because of your tweet, so bye, bitch. But, yes, I did go to Glendale. Yeah, she was wearing the green Shake It Off outfit when I met her. But, yeah, so that's how I met Taylor Swift the second time. Not ideal. If I could go back, I would not want to meet her the way I did. I would not want to go to Denver at all. I wouldn't have even driven there. I literally drove 8 hours to get dragged by Mama Swift, and then I had to drive back. Everyone dragged me. It sucked balls, and it was literally the shittiest night of my entire life, and yeah, not a good experience. And after I met Taylor, I was not happy. I was like, Taylor probably hates me. Like, she did not even want to meet me, and I was literally, like, traumatized for, like, 3 weeks. Like, I'm not even kidding. I literally, like, I literally, like, sunk into a depression for, like, that rest of the month. Like, I was so depressed. I was like, literally everyone hates me. Like, Mama Swift hates me, Taylor Swift hates me. But get this, ladies. So my friend Maria won tickets from an Xfinity, and it included a backstage tour in Omaha, and she wanted to go. And so I actually went backstage and saw Mama Swift afterwards. Bye, Dylan. So I actually saw Mama Swift again on the same tour, okay? And in Omaha. Yes, I'll tell it to you later, Dylan. So I met Mama Swift again in Omaha, and I was literally so scared. Like, I knew that I was going to meet her again because, like, my friend had the backstage passes, and I was literally so scared. I was like, literally, she's going to drag my ass again for having, like, a meet and greet. Because they were like, when they were dragging me backstage at Denver, they were like, "You've already met Taylor, like, you had your chance, like, she's done so much for you, like, you already got to go to the secret sessions." And so I met Mama Swift again in Omaha, and, like, I went through, like, the entire, like, backstage tour or whatever, and then, like, afterwards, she pulled me and Maria aside. So, like, my little group, she pulled aside, and she was, like, talking, and, like, all I said to her, I was like, "Thanks for letting me meet Taylor in Denver." Like, I didn't know what to say to her, because, like, I was like, what is she going to talk to me? I was like, "Thanks for letting me meet Taylor in Denver," and she, like, pulled me aside, and she was like, "I am so, so sorry for, like, what happened," and I was like, oh shit. And so that happened, and then she was like, honestly, like, afterwards I had, like, a long talk with Taylor after it happened, and, like, told her everything that happened. And so literally Taylor knows that I got dragged backstage at Denver. And she's like, "I'm so glad I was, like, wrong about you. Like, me and Taylor love you so much. Like, you're awesome, and, like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that." And so, like, she literally, like, felt so bad. And I was like, "Bitch, you better. Like, you literally traumatized me and made me think that literally, like, this entire fandom hated me." And I was like, I remember I told her, I was like, I was like, okay, that's, like, such a huge relief, because I didn't want Taylor thinking that, like, I begged you to meet her or, like, anything like that, because, like, that's a lot of, like, what people have been saying, like, online, and, like, I didn't want Taylor believing that. And, like, I just didn't want people thinking, like, I'd be that kind of person to, like, sneak my way backstage, because that's not at all, like, how it was. Like, that was never my intention. I didn't even intend to meet her, like, again, you know? And, so, yeah, I, like, felt a lot better after that, and, like, I got a picture with her, and, like, honestly, I'm so glad I got to meet, like, Mama Swift again. Like, I was so nervous about it, but, like, she was, like, so apologetic, like, when I went better, or, like, talked to her about it, and, like, wow, yeah, that was, like, the craziest thing ever, and literally everyone, like, has all these wild stories, and yeah, that's what happened. I'm gonna try to find, the tweets. Honestly, I should write a memoir about being a Swiftie, because it's kind of crazy. I have so many stories. But yeah, so that's, oh, guys, I also have, so, I don't know why Sinead was, like, so pissed off about that night. I was like, you literally weren't here. But, she was, like, super upset, and she's like, all of Taylor Nation hates me. And I was like, you weren't even there, like, what the fuck? And, so she, like, Sinead made me call Sierra on the phone and talk about Denver with her. And I was like, okay. So literally, Sinead was on, like, FaceTime with me while I called Sierra. And, cause Sierra was like, if you ever want to, like, talk it through about, like, what happened, then just let me know. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you, bitch. Thank gosh she's fired now, but whatever. Yeah, so, I, like, called Sierra, and I was like, hi, like, I just wanted to, like, talk about what happened with Denver. I was like, it did not, like, that was, like, never my intention for it to, like, become that. Like, I was like, I never intended on meeting Taylor again. And then, like, when I said that, she was like, yeah, because you already met her. And I was like, bitch, the fuck? And I was like, white guy blinking meme. I was like, okay, well, anyway, I was like, yeah, like, I just want to apologize. Like, I didn't, like, ever want anyone to, like, tweet those things. I never told people to tweet those things. And, like, all this stuff. Meanwhile, like, Sinead is, like, silently, like, on, like, FaceTime on my computer with me, like, listening to this whole thing. And then Sierra was like, Sierra, like, starts playing the victim, and she was like, I just felt like my job was in jeopardy. And I was like, I felt like my life was in jeopardy. I literally thought Mama Swift was going to chop off my head with a knife. And, like, I don't know. Like, yeah. And then after that, Sierra from Taylor Nation literally hated my guts. And I was like, I literally didn't do anything. I was literally just driving to a concert to try to get my friend to meet Taylor. But, okay. But I still don't know why people can't meet Taylor more than once. Bitch, me too. Me too. Honestly, I would really love to know the reasoning behind that, because at this point it's just little 11-year-olds getting noticed by Taylor Swift and meeting her. So why do people feel the need to be horrible? Because they're bitches and they're jealous? Did she really get fired? Honestly, I don't know what happened to her. I just know that she doesn't work for Taylor anymore, thank goodness. We should support one another. Yes, we should. But yeah, that's my story about how I met Taylor Swift in Denver. Everything else that you read is fake. Shit, haven't met her and am deaf not an 11-year-old. LOL. I'm not throwing shade at you or anything. Just saying. But, like, she's like, here's my thing. Like, yeah, no, I'm not saying that, like, only 11-year-olds haven't met her. All I'm saying is that, like, when people are, like, denied loft and stuff, like, after they've met her and stuff, yeah, no, like, I'm not saying that I'm not supporting other people, but, like, I'm just saying that, like, Taylor will, like, or, like, Taylor Nation will, like, contact people that, like, aren't even fans. Like, at my secret session, like, in LA, there were just like a bunch of people that were like not even like fans on Tumblr or on like social media, and they just like randomly contacted people that also lived in LA. Like, yeah. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that because that's too much drama. No, I'm not even throwing shade at the 11-year-old either, at the 11-year-olds either, because they're cute. Yeah, no, the people on Loft at Salt Lake, I only knew one girl that was a big fan, and I was like, hello? No, I'm like, I wish I was cuter. Thank goodness I have a little sister that can get Taylor Swift's attention. Story time, my little sister got noticed by Taylor before I did. Ow. Hello? So, we're really out here after 3 hours, and Taylor Swift is still not on my live stream.